night shift? Is he good, ready to go?
Yeah, I'll have another conversation with him, but he looks good, looks great, and he's on the trip for that reason. So I would expect he'll be ready to go.
So do you know who might not be playing, or do you got to wait until you talk to Jordan?
I don't really want to go too much in the lineup. Obviously, we have 23 guys that it looks like are all good to go, and I will say this: whoever comes out, you're making decisions, and anybody could come out in the sense that everybody want everybody playing better. That's for sure. Everybody's played okay, so we'll make some decisions. It's a lot of gray I'm giving you, Paul.
I understand.
But I just don't like giving lineups out right now.
How much you've got to get some consistency going. You've got to parlay the game Monday night. You've only won 2 in a row one time this year. How important is just to build from one game to the next and not keep going back and forth?
Well, you finished, Mike, and nailed it for me. Build from one game to the next. Pro sports, you're going to ups and downs, and you're going to get throttled at moments, and you got to respond. And so it's build. It's learning from. I shouldn't even say learning. It's progressing. It's getting better, finding a way to get better, but ultimately just find a way to win. And winning is not pretty. Lots and lots of times. It's dealing with adversity within a game, within a game, ups and downs. I think we need to handle those better to be more consistent.
Respecting the fact you didn't really want to go into the lineup, can we assume, though, that 11-7 is probably over now with the number of forwards you have?
Probably, yeah. And last game, we went into that game with Samuelsson not knowing. So it seems like the last 3 nights we went 7. There's different scenarios that you have 7 capable guys, and the other night we weren't sure with Samuelsson till game time, really, till warm-ups, and it was a positive that we had him back. So
you sent Kulik back. I mean, just how tough is it with him and Rosén to evaluate them these 2 games, especially the way the New Jersey game went?
Yeah, New Jersey game was a much less than ideal game to have those guys in. We were terrible in that game, as we all know. But those 2 guys, challenging it was, they were good. And Kulik going down, it was a situation where I didn't feel we would be able to get him in the top 9 in a better rotation. So, with him, with him and what we think of him and his potential and that, we didn't feel that was right. Kevin and I in conversation. So he's down as a result of that. There just wasn't that spot. Rosén, if he's is in that spot, is in a top 9 spot and getting a little bit more ice time.
And he's just going to get 20 minutes as soon as he goes back to Rochester, as opposed to whatever he would get here.
Yeah, he is still progressing in Rochester. He's a talent. But Rochester is still a resource because you can see him, you can see areas of his game that will get better and better by virtue of being there and playing those minutes that you say, high minutes, 20 minutes a game. And, there's areas, yes, he could help us in this area and that area here. But when guys are healthy, we have guys that can do that as well. So, and should be able to do that. Obviously, you'll have your moments of maybe they didn't, but they should be able to do that.
What did Johnson? There's no denying the intangibles that he brings to the team and his penalty killing, which is, in my eyes, I don't know yours, but mine have been superb. But 5-on-5, do you feel maybe there's more there, or you need more from him 5-on-5?
I think he'll get better 5-on-5. It's a big system change from man-on-man. Not many teams are man-on-man anymore. He came from a man-on-man system, and I still think that affects him. It takes a lot. It takes time, and he's played it for a lot of years. I was in part of that transition in Chicago where we went to a man-on-man system, and it's a challenge. But I think through reps, through games, that's something that will resolve in the sense of he'll get better with it. But I do think that's been a challenge for him, absolutely. I think he can get better 5-on-5. I think he will get better 5-on-5.
He essentially has to break his instincts Right.
And that's tough to do. When you've played that system for year after year after year, it becomes instinctive. So now you're fighting your instincts differently. Man on man versus free safety, and it's just it's two different positions and two different ways to do it. And he's done it, like I said, for years. And there's not a lot of teams that do it. Lots of teams shifted away from man on man the last couple of years. Lots of teams have, and so that's a transition that I see him when I watch him. He still gets caught in that, and you can probably go back and see moments where that's happened. But when he resolves that, we know that's the issue, not the player. It's the player adapting to the different style. And again, reps and repetitions are the way that happens to decondition those instincts.
Are you starting to change a little bit the way some of the players are thinking? And what I'm getting at is after the Ranger game, we talked to Alex Tuck, we talked to Ukko. In both cases, they're already talking about this game. They both were saying, all right, we got 2 days. We need to play like this. And we got 2 days to figure it out so we can go to St. Louis and play like this. Have you tried to change the players thinking that way?
Absolutely. You coach this group this year way different than I coached 2 years ago. It's just the way it is. You coach the team you have and the situation you're in, the circumstances you deal with, and we know that every win matters, and we have to make decisions solely on that, knowing we're good enough to win. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to win pretty, and it doesn't mean you're not going to get outshot. It doesn't mean you're not going to have ugly moments. But finding ways to win, and when we've struggled, we've lost track of the foundation of everything, and that's compete, win a battle. You don't have to feel good to win a battle. It doesn't have to look good. And so yes, we're pushing those initiatives hard, and I think the players are taking to that, and it's a process for every team. Every team's going through processes, and for us, we feel you think systems are the resolution. We just talked about Eric Johnson, and yes, there's some systematic things there, but the essence of everything is high compete, and I feel we can be better at that, and I feel our guys are competitors, but we haven't had enough focus on that.